2026 is my year of giving back to an industry that has given me so much. After doing my research, I decided to become an advocate for the FESPA Foundation. A passionate, dedicated team are on a mission and are driving projects that are close to my heart. People like Steve Tabella, the head of the FESPA Foundation, together with Neil Felton, who's the CEO of FESPA, and Sarah Horlock, who keeps everything moving, are changing lives one school at a time. But that's enough from me. Take a moment and watch this video and see how you can make a difference to other lives. In the rural communities that surround Cape Town, children arrive at school each day eager and ready to learn. They've got very little support material. For many, this is also the only place they're going to receive a proper meal. Steve Tabella, the head of the FESPA Foundation, and I visited several of these schools in the Western Cape to understand where we can help and where it was truly needed. One of the schools you're seeing in this video is more than 3 hours away, deep in a farming community. Last week, the province was in the middle of a heat wave. And when we arrived at the school, I kid you not, it was 53 degrees and went up to 55. Inside these classrooms, or maybe I should say saunas, 2 grades shared one little room because there isn't enough space or funding for more classes or teachers. There wasn't even a fan in sight, never mind fancy air conditioners. It was a beautifully painted school on the outside, but and more so than the other schools that we actually visited, but looks were deceiving. More than 80% of the families here survive on government grants. That's what the principal told us. That is about 15 euros per family per month. Can you imagine? Many of these children arrive at school with a plastic bag to carry their books. The principal told us that the school does run a feeding scheme, thank goodness, in which the children receive a breakfast and a small lunch. Then he said quietly, these are probably the only meals that these children get. But then I asked him, so what happens to these poor kids on a weekend? And he looked at me and said, you'd rather not know. Talk about heartbreak. Imagine that. Imagine not having that feeding scheme on weekends. When you walk through the school, what strikes you the most is how little there is for the children to see or do. There's no color. There's no learning materials on the walls. There's very little to spark curiosity and imagination of children. And there are no sporting facilities. So there's nothing for them to do. School, in my opinion, should feel different. They should be filled with color. They should have educational posters up. They have birthday charts that make every kid feel special, at least on their birthday. They should have great motivational messages up on the walls. A learning environment for kids should invite curiosity, and it should encourage independence and support the many ways in which children learn. We didn't see any of that. But that's why the actual FESPA Foundation exists. It's all about print for good. Together, the printing industry can transform these spaces. It can bring in color, learning materials, and dignity back to the classrooms that need it most. You look at these kids in the heat with nothing. These kids still smiled and laughed and were fascinated with my iPhone, as many of them had never even seen one of them before. I even got challenged to a game of hopscotch. Don't ask. Let's just say it brought back memories. Every child deserves a school that feels like a place where their future matters. And together, by supporting the work of the FESPA Foundation, we can help make that happen. Come on, guys. Let's make a difference, one school at a time.
So here I am at the FESPA Foundation stand at the print show. Going to have to excuse the background noise, but we are live at a print show. So enjoy the party. I'm here, as you can see, on the stand of the FESPA Foundation, which is Print for Good. Next to me, I have a young lady that actually works as part of the foundation, and I'm a freelancer for the foundation. So, and Ntombi is going to tell us exactly what the FESPA Foundation is and does. So, Ntombi, I'm going to hand over to you. Give us insight into the foundation.
All right. So, in a nutshell, we are the FESPA Foundation. So we're a printing charity organization, or NPO. And basically what we do is that we repurpose every printed something that's supposed to be printed and going into waste. We take that and we do something good with that. And what we consider as doing good is going into rural schools or schools that are under-resourced, and we take these materials and we donate them to the schools. So for examples, we'll take wasted maybe pencil cases or posters and we give them to the schools, right? Another initiative that we have is that we go to exhibitions and we get the exhibitors to print out posters, educational posters for these schools, because most of the schools in the rural areas don't have access to get posters that are educational based. So that's what we do, and that's just the first fold of what we do as a foundation. That's our Print for Good initiative. Our second fold is the Adopt a School program. So the Adopt a School program, it enables companies, right, in the printing industry to adopt a school. So we get to these schools sometimes and you want to just give printed items. You want to donate a poster, stationery, but you get there and the school is falling apart. There's no kitchens, there's not enough classrooms. The situation is dire. And so we give companies an opportunity to come and make a difference. They can donate more than just supplies and printing material. They can actually donate money or actually come into the schools and rebuild, or we actually recently had a company build a library for one of the schools. So that's one of the things that we do. Our second part is the initiative. So that's donate, adopt a school.
So I love that, and obviously yesterday I saw firsthand about how desperately these schools need it.
Yes.
These schools have got nothing. And we sit there and it's like, okay, let's go and give them printed material, but these kids don't even have food.
Yes.
And how do you teach a hungry child?
Yes.
My daughter's a teacher, and that was one of the first things she said to me. How do we teach hungry kids?
Yes.
So it really pulls on your heartstrings, and when you get there and then you see the difference that you can make, and things that we just take for granted that the schools definitely need. So it's such a great foundation, and I encourage everyone out there, support it, please.
We really need your support, and we appreciate just having people within the industry and even outside the printing industry to come in and just share a helping hand.
Great.
Join me and FESPA Foundation.
Wonderful. Thank you. And thank you for your time. That was awesome. Thanks a lot. So I'm here with Rabina. Rabina works for FESPA. So FESPA, the company, as well as the foundation.
That's correct.
So Rabina, we are obviously today talking about the FESPA Foundation, and as your intro to what the foundation does, you experience firsthand some visits to the schools where you can make a difference and where the foundation is. Give us your insights on what you thought about the whole experience.
So, when I started working at FESPA Foundation, I had an idea. However, when you go into the schools and you experience it, you realize that there is so much potential for growth, so much potential for change. And I literally shed tears because I was so touched at some of the conditions that the schools are in. However, I was even more touched by the children because they have so much hope inside of their hearts despite their conditions or the resources or the lack of resources rather.
You're right.
So I was just extremely touched, and really and truly the experience of going to the school is not the same as reading about it or seeing it on video. You have to go. Your presence is a present, and the children appreciate it so much as well. So that is what I love about going to the schools, because I get to really be in touch with the reality of what is going on in our world, but also I know that there is something that I can do to make a difference in these children's lives.
So how have your views changed on what the foundation is doing? And I mean, does that make you want to get involved even more and you want to shout out to everybody, come on, donate,
I'm
donate?
telling you, I would love people to donate, to pledge, to volunteer their time mostly. It's not just about monetary value, but it really is about you being there and encouraging kids about not just about the print industry so far, and also just encouraging people through the print industry, you know?
It's true.
So I would love the industry at large to really partake in what it is that we're doing. We are printing for good. We're doing this to make a difference, and this is something that is purposeful. So anybody who has a CSI project that they want to partake in, we're here and we're really present to just let's do this.
Wonderful, I love it. And I look forward to working with you on some of these schools because that's going to be awesome.
Let's do it, Jean. I know
make it
that you
happen.
went to some schools yesterday, and I'm so proud of you for that. Thank you.
Well, let's go rock the industry.
Yes.
Great, thank you. And Steve, welcome, firstly, and thank you for giving us the time. Please tell our audience a little bit about who you are, because if I had your CV here, I would have to frame it and put it up there because you are a world famous person when it comes to what you do and what you give back.
Thank you very much, Jean, for that kind introduction. My name is Steve Thobela. Recently, I've been added to that name Gamdalose because I was brought up as Thobela and I've served in the industry known as Steve Thobela. And recently, because I honored my father, I added the name Mzalose. So I'm Steve Thobela Gamdalose. I have the privilege of serving as the Executive Director of FESPA Foundation. A little bit about myself. I have served as a printer. I started as an apprentice at the Pretoria News, and I worked my way up in the printing industry. At some point, I've had the privilege of serving as the CEO of the Federation of South Africa, which is Printing SA. I've also served in a number of companies, but above all, I've also had the privilege of serving at Mr. Mandela's One charity organization as the founding general manager of the Mandela Rhodes Foundation. And now privileged enough once again, to be serving at this foundation as the executive director.
So Steve, they always say a South African woman, she tells you like it is. And I think you can recall the very first phone call that we had.
Certainly.
And I wanted to get the elephant out the room because I think charities in Africa and South Africa as such, people are always skeptical to put their money into such a charity and where's my money going and can you guarantee it? And I think that was one of my first questions to you.
Certainly.
Is how does FESPA guarantee the funds and how do people know their money is safe? So let's get the elephant out the room. How's that?
Very, very important. In fact, when this foundation was founded, one of the reasons the CEO of FESPA tells me, it was I identified you given that you have this background, that you have worked for Mr. Mandela. That is, I have the credibility that I wouldn't like to ruin for whatever reason. And I joined the foundation and already told by the CEO that was the primary objective of bringing me on board. I'm a printer by background. But what was important, it was we set up the proper structures so that we can account for every cent that happens in the organization. Firstly, it starts with the structure. We've got a board of directors that are well informed, that can ask the right questions, that they can challenge you as the CEO. We have an international board as well that oversees everything. Some of them are chartered accountants to make sure that the contributions that are made to this organization, they serve the purpose. They go where they're supposed to be. Added to that, this is our first year. We in the first 1.5 years. We now do 2 audits. We have auditors that will audit the organization and make sure that the funds are spent the way they're supposed to be. Lastly, which is the most important part, as I said earlier, we don't believe in throwing money at the problem and think the problem will go away. We invite the donors not just to donate, but to partner with us, to go with us to the schools and see for themselves where the money is gone in, so that when they look at the numbers, they can actually add up to what they have seen. This is the uniqueness of this foundation. we take full responsibility and accountability of making sure that when the donor identifies a project and says, this is what I want to get involved with, we spend the money accordingly. Yes, we need money, part of that money to run the foundation. Yes, we need management fees, but we are responsible with every cent. We do not go and spend that money on us and have all the luxuries of life while we've asked the money to be used elsewhere. Very prudent in how we spend on our daily basis.
100%. And I saw that the last few days, and you and I've had deep discussions about this, and I've got to say, it's very impressive what you guys do. So
we literally drove around Cape Town for hours because the hotels, as you know, there is in the season, a night at the hotel will be about 3,000 rand. We try and sleep at a hotel no more than 1,500 rand, and I teach my staff that is what you shall do. Whatever you do with every cent of this foundation, be prudent, because people donated for the sake of those children and they need to benefit, not us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Steve. Great. Thank you.